Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Your home for sports talk in the Duke City. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Back to the wall. All or nothing. Win or go home. Not kind of got to win, but must. Knicks are tough, man. They're going to be a tough kill. And they proved that last night. Not in our house, at least, as New York goes home and stays alive with an impressive 111-94 victory in the Eastern Conference Final last night, down 3-1 back in Madison Round Garden. They beat the Pacers. Game 6 will be back in Indiana on Saturday night. Good morning, boys and girls, and it is Friday. You've made it to the weekend. We got a big show planned for you on this Friday, so ho! Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living?
What it do?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Short week. Feel
We've
like a
made
short
it.
week to you?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of did to me. Kind of like, whoa, all right.
Very busy.
Yeah. Busy makes it go quickly, I always find. Kindergarten over?
Yes.
When did that end?
So Wednesday was the last day.
So now what? Now you got a kindergarten graduate in the house.
Yes.
You got the did you frame the certificate and everything?
Not yet. They did put on a performance last Friday.
Nice.
That's where I was at. And
All right.
sang some songs. And
Yeah. What are the songs?
they sang Guns N' Roses.
What?
Yes. Sweet Child of Mine.
Really?
It was great.
I'll bet it was.
They did a version of We Will Rock You, but it's We Are Going to First Grade.
Okay.
Tremendous.
I'm down.
So
All right.
that was a lot of fun.
So now what happens all summer?
Well, we got lucky. We got him into the New Mexico Summer Reading Program next month.
Yeah.
It's gigantic. So he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's summer break. And I'm like, yeah, you're going right back to school.
That's right, kid. Get your butt to school. That's right.
I was very excited about that.
I'll bet you were. And you got the Cubs, the golf over at San Diego Golf
Been
Club.
doing that the last couple weeks.
Yeah, how's he liking that?
It's good because it's so much easier. And I've noticed that now getting him involved in sports, that when he is around other kids, he's so much more willing to do stuff than when dad's trying to tell him to do stuff.
It's true that and I did the same thing, right? When you have an only child and you get him around other children. Oh, okay, I get it. They're doing it.
Like, oh yeah, let's play. I'm great now. Now I'm like, all right, no, this is what we do. And it's like, no, I don't want to listen to you.
San Diego Golf Club's going to join us. Nick Nee, the director of golf. 8:30 this morning. We'll talk golf. Get you a golf tip. We got a full show today. Sweet deal for you at 8:15 that you're going to love. San Diego Golf Club's director of golf, Nick Nee, at 8:30. Joe Diaz on his retirement day is going to be with us at 8:45. The chief meteorologist for another few hours over at our TV news partner, KOAT Action 7 News. And then at 9 o'clock, Kenny Thomas joins us. We kick it with Kenny and go through the NBA and college basketball with the former Lobo great and 11-year NBA veteran and the host of his own show, which is called Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, which airs tomorrow morning right here on the Sports Animal at 10 o'clock. Last night, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns were not going to get eliminated in their building in front of their people. They came out quickly. They never took their foot off of the gas. They were up early. They set the tone early. They were up in the first quarter. They were up at halftime. They outscored the Pacers in the first three quarters, and they win convincingly, 111-94. I don't know that I think this changes the series. I obviously keeps it alive. I don't know that it changes the tone. Now, if they win tomorrow night in Indiana, then we've got a whole nother conversation. But I find zero surprise in them staying alive at home. They're tough. They're gritty. They're damn good. And to not get, gentlemen swept and not lose at home was no surprise to me at all, the way they play.
Yeah, I thought the Pacers coasted last night a bit.
I think
and
that's right.
Tyrese Halliburton was awful for everything that we've given him, and he's earned it to that point. He had a terrible game, and it's been a weird postseason with moments that we've discussed, teams just getting blued out the belt, 30, 40-point losses, other times in games where a team has an opportunity to just end a series. We see games like this happen, and like, oh, no, the other team just played harder. Well, why did the other team play harder? You knew what was going to happen. They're going to play for their basketball lives with the season on the line. And then even looking at, how the Pacers got here and the incredible collapses or comebacks, however you want to call it, where do you put it on the meter that they've went through to get here? The Knicks and overcoming 20-point deficits early in the series against the Celtics to take control. Just so many weird vibes, just gigantic highs and lows. It was just another one last night going in where you knew the intensity the Knicks were going to bring, and the Pacers like, well, we can just go back and win this at home.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that as well, and I agree with you. Will they tell you they coasted? Did they intend to coast? I'm going to guess the answer is no. Halliburton's got to answer a little bit, and he stood there and took them. He sat there at the table, and he took them all, and I said, I got to be better, and he said all of the right things last night, and there was nowhere to hide. he took 7 shots in a game that would have clinched a spot in the NBA final. And he's got to take it. And so if you're going to put it on Anthony Edwards, as so many people did, if you're going to give him all the accolades, as so many people did, then he's got to take it a little bit. Why? Was this something that the Knicks did necessarily to take it away from him, to take him out? I don't know that I noticed anything crazy, although, yeah, I mean, every time he got the ball, it was forcing it out of his hands, as you do. I thought they were really good defensively. He said they didn't do anything differently. He said, I'll look at the tape, but I didn't really find that they did anything differently. But if you want to be that dude, you want to give the choke sign, you kind of got to show up in a big game. And I guess you get a 1-game pass when you're up 3-1, right? When you're up 3-1 and you've been really good and you hit the big shot in that building in game 1, I guess you do get a 1-game pass. You probably don't get a 2 and certainly not a 3.
No, because then your season's over
Yeah.
after that. And it's not necessarily a pass, but it's kind of a theme we've seen in the postseason, like in these games. It's not the, kind of got to win, as you said. It's the, well, if we don't win this game, we're going home. We've seen that team respond, and the other team just like, okay, we got hit early, didn't really feel like fighting back, I guess. And Pascal Siakam said it too. He's like, they just played harder. You're like, well, why?
Right.
Why did they just play harder? You knew what was happening. Eastern Conference Finals, you win, you go to the NBA Finals.
Yes. Yeah, they just played harder. They wanted it more. Look, the desperate team, and I've subscribed to this theory, and because I think it's absolutely true. I think most people subscribe to this theory. The desperate team innately plays harder, right? I don't think it's something you got to think about. If we don't win tonight, our season's over. Our goal of winning a championship is dodged. We don't get that this year. The team that's up 3-1 and on the road, yeah, we want to win. But in the back of your mind, you know that if you don't, you're going home on Saturday and you can do it in your place. It's human nature, right? We could talk to Kenny about this when Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 o'clock. I've never been a professional athlete in that situation. But I sure as hell watched enough of these that last night was predictable, right? It's human nature. In your mind, if you're New York, and they're going to come out the same way tomorrow night. Now, Indiana damn well better, because they go back into that madhouse for Game 7. We're all picking the Knicks, aren't we?
Oh, if they're on that roll?
Yes. That would mean the Knicks have won 2 in a row. Just won in Indiana. Indiana's facing the reality of losing a 3-1 series lead, which almost nobody does. Oh, and by the way, it's all on the line. Hell yes. If it goes back to Game 7, we're all picking New York. Aren't we?
Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah, right. I mean, and now I'm going to screaming at Smith back. I mean, just come on, Indiana. Come on, Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton in games 1 through 4 scored or assists on 24% of his team's points. Last night he had 2 points. He had took 7 shots, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. That's it. They get beat 111-94. All right, NBA's on the table for you. It's 505-246-0610. We got a ton to do. We got to hit some WNBA stuff. And, of course, we're not talking about games. We're talking about the off-the-court stuff and everything that's going on. And it's the same story, but the story's still there every day. There's NBA trade rumors, KD, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Where's everybody going? We can have those conversations as we go through the day. Global football. You got your television schedule. You got your game time. Addie was pumped, dude. Game time for the Michigan game. It's a night game at the Big House. 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 here. Which for those
Under
of you,
the lights.
Those of you who are going to Ann Arbor, you get all day. It's like, what do you do for like a night game? She's like, the frat boys are going to wake us up early. I said, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to find a spot. We'll go have lunch.
You're going to be awake for the kickoff.
That's right. Because she's like, yeah, Dad, they start, they wake us up with shots. I'm like, okay, well, you got a long day, baby girl. So noon, we'll find the lunch spot. Ohio State plays Texas on Big Noon. We know that game's a big noon game, right? So we go. I hate Ohio State. I know. So we go watch Ohio State, Texas, have lunch, and then we stumble out to the tailgate lot and bounce around. And you're that frat boy from Montana that said, "Hey Jeffy, pull up to the SIU tailgate and I'll show you a good time." So call that guy, tell him your dad's coming by. You better show me a good time, and that's what we do. So you got a full day in Michigan, JJ. I think I'm doing the show Friday from Ann Arbor.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you coming?
There's a air mattress or futon somewhere.
There's got to be. There's got to be a spot on the charter. I mean, All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go. When we get back, we'll go through the UNM and the New Mexico State national television schedule and what that means. There'll probably be some Mountain West Conference games in there. The Aggie-Lobo game probably is going to be picked up and done locally. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. Adrian's producing for you on the visuals so you can watch our program on our Facebook page. The OD and the AM. You can watch our program on Xfinity Channel 26 in the state of New Mexico. And you can watch our program on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. When we come back, all right, go ahead, guys. Mark your calendars. And a lot of them have times on it now. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The United States. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at
building right there on Louisiana, block south of it, all across from the Coronado Mall. Why? Just different, just better, just incredible. Right now, they got over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings on hand for you to try on. 3,000 of them. Probably going to find something you like if you're in the market for an engagement ring. If not, if you don't find something you like, or if you don't even know what you like, they'll walk you through it and they can create whatever it is you want. If you're looking for a piece for yourself, an anniversary gift, a graduation gift, whatever it is, John Thomas Jewelers your place. Watches, earrings. I bought studs there. It went over really well. Whatever it is you want, John Thomas Jewelers is just different. And it's not some place in the mall you're just going to stumble across and pick something out of a case. They're going to care about you. They offer the only nationwide free lifetime warranty that's available in Albuquerque. That means if you buy something there and you move and 5 years later you need something fixed and you live in Dallas or Florida or wherever, you can get it taken care of and it'll be done for free. Go by and see why John Thomas Jewelers is the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. They're the fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico. Been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years and even named the coolest jewelry store by In-Store magazine. That's in the nation. So many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in Albuquerque. They're on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. It's Suite 310. John Thomas Jewelers is where Albuquerque gets engaged. JJ, the TV schedule is out. Lobos are going to be on NBC. That's Big Boy NBC for the Michigan game, right?
Big Boy NBC.
That's over the air, Channel 4, nationwide, Saturday night, Labor Day weekend, first big weekend of college football. Everybody's going to be watching football, and they flip on, and what's on NBC? Oh, look at that. Michigan's home in the big house. Who are they playing? Who's that? What's that? Oh, Jason X, New Mexico Lobos. To start the season on Big Boy NBC. 5:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 in the Big House. You can learn the song. Mr. Brightside is what they do at the end of the 3rd quarter. Might want to learn the words if you're going. It's kind of a cool, whether you're into Michigan or not, it's kind of a cool thing.
If you don't know Mr. Brightside, where you been?
As far as my child's concerned, it's the greatest song ever made. Look, man, there's biases that go with it. There's games that still have not been picked up. And so there'll probably be Mountain West network games, which is 4 home games, in fact, JJ. The Idaho State game, the New Mexico State game, the Utah State game, Bronco Mendenhall's return, and Colorado State. No surprise that, look, the Lobos weren't the most enticing choice for the networks. The Lobos, although they were, 3-4 in conference last year, right? 3-4. They are picked last in many what I see. I think it's just a lot of the unknown, right? Nobody knows. You got a new coach, a lot of unknowns. Your quarterback situation's up in the air.
Kind of get in line with the Mountain West Conference and what we were discussing yesterday, and that you're gonna. Next couple weeks, it's preseason expectations, rankings, metrics, etc. But there's not a lot of consistency. There's a lot of turnover in the Mountain West Conference, and there's teams you can point at, and Boise State easily put at the top. You really liked what UNLV has done this offseason, but really after that, it's anyone's game in terms of being able to go on a little bit of a run, be one of those teams that's potentially looking up at those top two or even the second place team in the Mountain West Conference.
I think it's wide open. I don't know that I think it's wide open, actually. I think it's wide open in the middle. How about that? I think there's two teams that are separated for this year. I think Boise State, and I do believe UNLV is going to be good. I look at the amount of high major transfers. I mean, give me a better word to say. I mean, power conference, but guys who play that Dan Mullen has gotten to UNLV. They got a couple of quarterbacks there. I think UNLV is going to be really good, and I know they do too. Like they're talking about, they believe that in his first year they got an opportunity to be the playoff team.
Wow, that playoffs.
Well, but if you look at their schedule, JJ, and you start saying, all right, who's got it? Because I think part of it is you've got to beat some people, but yet you still can't, if you're going to beat.
This is where undefeated matters. Everywhere, the big dog.
Correct.
Talking about, oh, you're not going to be undefeated. No, you still got to be undefeated group of 5 if you want to get anywhere.
Although Boise State was once defeated, but who beat them, and it was Oregon, who was the number 1 team in the country, and they lost by a last-second field goal at Oregon, right? And so that's where it is. UNLV, and it's a really interesting schedule. At Sam Houston, you figure they can handle that. They get UCLA at home. Idaho State, just like the Lobos, they go to Miami of Ohio. So that's their non-conference. So they're playing a Big Ten team, and they get them at home, and it's a bottom. I mean, UCLA is a bottom-tier Big Ten team, right?
They got Nico Amaliva.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. Amaliva, or Amaliva, or Amaliva, Tennessee is right. It's so funny. They do get Boise State, and that's on the road, but they don't play Fresno State. They don't play San Diego State. Like they play Wyoming, Air Force, Boise State, New Mexico, Colorado State, Utah State, Hawaii, and Nevada. And they think they're really, really, really good. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Dan Mullen goes in there, and we'll see. As for the Lobos and the schedule, at Michigan on NBC, they'll come home, play Idaho State. They'll go to UCLA and be on the Big Ten Network. That's his Big Ten partner. That could be Fox isn't making a big noon at the Rose Bowl at 10 o'clock in the morning. It could be a Fox or NBC game. Most likely it's going to be a Big Ten Network game, right? Against UCLA at the Rose Bowl. And I've asked Lobo fan this. If cost wasn't a factor, and certainly although LA is not cheap, but getting to LA is easier than getting to Ann Arbor, you're going to 2 iconic football meccas. Would you rather see a game at the Big House or at the Rose Bowl if you've never seen one?
Big House.
If you've never seen one, why the Big House? I don't know that that's the wrong answer, but why?
The Big House to me is a combination of that team and the atmosphere is going to be great. I don't know how many people are going to be at that game. New Mexico at UCLA.
Yeah, that's why it's the right answer. So to go see a Rose Bowl at the Rose Bowl might be the answer. But if it's you want to see your team play at the Big House or at the Rose Bowl, the answer is the Big House. I've been to both. I've been to UCLA games there. I've been to Rose Bowls. I've been to Michigan games. The Big House is an experience, and there will be 100,000 plus. It'll be the opener for the Wolverines with their new quarterback. Like it's going to be something. To your point, it'll probably be. It's a Friday. The UCLA game's Friday, September 12th. Did you know that? They play 3 Friday night games.
They moved 3 of them to Friday.
Yeah. So that I'm going to tell you, it's going to be 40,000 in a 100,000 seat stadium. You think I'm wrong?
If that.
Yeah. I mean, traffic getting to Pasadena on a Friday afternoon to play New Mexico. Like, with all due respect to New Mexico, UCLA fans like, yeah, whatever. And especially if they get beat the week before by UNLV, which I think they will, because they're in Vegas the week before.
I think the Lobos should ask for a bonus for that game.
Why?
A Donovan Dent tax.
Fair enough. I think that's totally fair. We want the Donovan Dent tax. So, yeah, The answer is the Big House. They'll come home. They get they get a week off. So they get 2 weeks to get ready for the Aggies.
How could they do that to the Lobos? Take a day away from them, put them on a short week when they have to go to UCLA.
Coming off the Idaho State.
They think they are.
I know. Fair enough. They're on a short week, too. And UCLA would be on the road the week prior. They get San Jose State on a Friday night on Fox Sports 1. The next week, they'll be in Boise on a Fox network against Boise State. The next week at home on a Fox network against Nevada. The next week, Bronco Mendenhall comes to town. Still time and network to be named. The next week, they go to Vegas. No TV yet. The next week off before going to Colorado State. So you get your bye week before New Mexico State and Colorado State. And then the last two games, CBS Sports at Air Force on a Saturday and a Friday after Thanksgiving at home against the Aztecs. So for those of you, I can't make my play. You can mark your calendars now. You're too busy. You got weddings. You got to cut the lawn. You got whatever, man. It's out half the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not half. 4 of the 12 times are made. You can go make your plans now, right? Or you can complain about it later. I know the answer.
The answer's going to be in your email inbox.
I know the answer. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. Wait till you hear the number. NIL value Cooper Flag. It is bonkers. He may be taking a pay cut in the NBA. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
Start summer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505.
You got it. You understand it. You accepted it. You know what it is. Stop fighting it. Embrace it. But you've heard about guys like when JT Toppin, the former Lobo, now the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year basketball, he plays at Texas Tech. And I think you saw the deal that he took his name out of the NBA draft, right? He's played 2 seasons of college basketball, but he considered the NBA draft. Took his name out because the projections were, JJ, he would be a late first round or early second round pick, correct? And at about 15th in the first round in last year's draft is where the cutoff was. Guys were making $4 million or more, and then it dropped, below $4 million. And Texas Tech reportedly gave him $4 million in an NIL deal. So he was going to lose money this year to go to the NBA, which in its own respects is bonkers, right? When you start thinking about, well, am I a pro or am I a college athlete? Well, I can make way more money being in college, which is the way it is. Shedeur Sanders, what I see was his signing bonus like $436,000 or something like that? And he was making however many millions in NIL at Colorado. I don't know how much Cooper Flagg is going to make, JJ, as a first round pick, as the first overall pick in the NBA. But I think he's taking a pay cut. Have you seen his NIL deal? What it amounted to last year? What do you think it was worth? 1 year at Duke, he was 17 and then 18 years old.
$7 million.
$7 million. That'd be a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. There's a Howard Bryant. Is a sports columnist at ESPN. He was with Bob Costas, and he was asked how much Cooper Flagg earned in NIL at Duke. Costas wasn't sure. So Howard, the reporter, provided the answer. Would you tell me $7 million? So cute. That's a quarter of what he made. $28 million in NIL last year. What? $28 million. He said this is Bryant, the reporter from ESPN, reporting on Cooper Flagg's NIL deal. He had a $13 million deal with New Balance and $15 million with Fanatics. That's $28 million with those two. Because you see him on the New Balance commercial.
I was kind of just thinking collective deal, but then I'm like, oh yeah, he's already got a big time shoe deal.
Yeah. And then I didn't know his Fanatics deal. Fanatics is the apparel hawker, for lack of a better term. Howard said that the total is probably Flag's NIL contracts in totality and not his annual payment. Because Adrian Wojnarowski previously had reported that Flag's New Balance agreement was significant, and there are often multi-year contracts between incoming rookies and sneaker companies. So the deal with New Balance ahead of his first season in the NBA makes him one of the brand New Balance's signature athletes. So who else do they have? They have Kawhi Leonard. Who else is in that commercial?
New Balance?
Yeah.
Top of the list. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
Jamal Murray. New Balance guy.
Yeah. All right. Fanatics has their exclusive athletes. Who's he on the roster with at Fanatics? Victor Wembanyama, Paul Skeens, C.J. Stroud. His first rookie card is part of the 2025 Bowman University Chrome set, which is put out by Fanatics. So his previous estimated NIL valuation was around $5 million with Duke during his only season of college basketball. Right? That was the leading number in college basketball. But the reality is that he's bringing in almost 5 times that. It's just, it's bonkers. And now he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, and he's probably going to take, well, no, he's not going to take a pay cut because he still has all those deals.
Yeah, he's locked in with the apparel deals, and the rookie first-year salary for number 1 overall pick is $10 million.
So that's now $38 million. Damn. Costas was making a point about the difference between men's and women's basketball. He said a female college basketball player stays in college, she collects the NIL because for the time being, the top salary in the WNBA is like $75,000. Now it's going to go up a bit, right? And if you're Caitlin Clark, it doesn't matter because you got all those endorsements. But for a few others, their deals carry over. But something that used to bother him, Costas said, everybody's profiting off this except for the athletes. Well, now, like, if you got a good NIL deal in college, you're probably taking a pay cut to go to the WNBA, unless you can carry that over, unless you've got a national shoe deal that's going to carry over. $28 million, dude, for 1 year is 1 year in college. But that's what it is. And you think it's coming down? You think the cost of business is coming down? And that's why people are like, okay, we shouldn't give to UNM. Well, you're not competing with Duke. Well, I mean, the NIL. Well,
and also, you can't, for the majority that are 99%, shoe deals are not involved.
No, that's right. But this is basically what this is emblematic of where it is and where it's going. And again, I'm not asking you to try to compete with them, but everybody's got more and more money coming in is the point. Okay, so you're not competing with Duke at UNM. And for those of you who are upset that, money's going to athletics. Well, but you are competing with Wyoming and San Jose State and your peer institutions and the teams in your league. And they've all got more money going in. So I'm going to guess if you're on the other side of it, you're probably not movable, right? If you're just upset that more money is going to athletics, you're probably just not moving, and that's how that's going to be. But I needed to share that with you because I think it's just bonkers. 505-246-0610. All right, NFL stuff. We get back. Joe Flacco is one of the quarterbacks at Browns minicamp. So is Shedeur Sanders. So is Dylan Gabriel. So is Kenny Pickett. All the kids. Oh, and one guy who's won a Super Bowl. How's he feel about being a mentor? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505.
And podcasts.
feisty New York Knicks stay alive last night. Awful performance from Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers coasted just a bit, but still a 3-2 series advantage. They're looking forward to talking with Kenny Thomas, Lobo legend, NBA veteran, coming up at 9 o'clock. Why does that happen?
Sorry, man. Clark got me.
Bobo Clarko.
Yeah. Clark got me. Clark got me. All right. Hey, who's going to be the quarterback for the Browns? Opening day quarterback will be, is it Joe Flacco? You got Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett.
I'd make the bet of Joe Flacco.
All right, I think that's the right bet. Who is going to be the next quarterback? So Joe Flacco will not take every snap for the Browns this year. Do we agree with that?
Yes.
The quarterback other than Joe Flacco who takes the first snap will be
Shedeur Sanders.
I hear Dylan Gabriel looks pretty nice in camp. All right. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl champion. Joe Flacco is in his 18th professional season. Joe Flacco is there not as anybody's long-term solution, but the Browns figured as a stopgap. Deshaun Watson, with whom they've got $230 million guaranteed thrown away with, is still there. So they knew they needed something. They didn't know they were getting two quarterbacks in the damn draft. If they knew they were getting these two guys, there's no way they would have signed him, right? With Kenny Pickett and with those two guys, Kenny Pickett would have been their stopgap, right?
No.
You don't think so? They wouldn't have signed Kenny Pickett then?
Yeah.
Okay. How should a guy answer the question, well, how do you feel, Joe, at your age, mentoring these two young quarterbacks? What's the right answer?
The right answer is that they still are going to have to come out there and try to beat me, but we're teammates, and that's part of being teammates.
Okay.
Because when you guys are sitting in rooms, you're working together. Yes, you're focused on your individual job. You don't want to lose your spot.
Okay. I don't hate that. Joe Flacco was asked about being a mentor yesterday, and he knows he can't win. Quote, this is Joe Flacco at Browns minicamp. It's a talking point. You can kind of use it because it's a good question to bait somebody into answering. And no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. So if I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. So it's one of those questions that no matter what I say, you guys can write what you want to write about it. And there's a lot of questions like that. That's why you end up having to try to avoid them. I tend to be honest. And I've said, I'm not a mentor. I play football. End quote. I don't hate that. Now, I know it's combative early. He continued. Right? Because he's got a lot more to say. And where he fits in, and this kind of goes where you were, JJ. And in a quarterback room, there's a lot of times already. There's been already a ton of times where there's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience, and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily my job to make sure they listen to me. And, hey, hopefully you have a really good relationship with the guys that are in the room, and you naturally want to do that. But that was a long-winded answer, but that's ultimately why I think you guys ask it. Here's my thing. Because of what I just said, you're acting like I would want to be a mentor. And once again, it's not really about that. It's just not the main focus. I see myself as a guy who can play in this league. So if your main focus was just like, hey, I'm going to get you ready, you're just not taking care of business. The best way to be a mentor, honestly, is show people how you go to work. And like I said, I hope they can pick up on that stuff, but not necessarily force them to pick up on the things that I do. End quote. Look, man, he was waiting for it. He was already locked and loaded. He was already defensive and angry. And I'm not sure I hated the answer.
No, this is one where Joe Flacco, if you remember, he saved the Browns 2 years ago. Got them to the playoffs. He is the very good veteran quarterback. They needed an adult in that room, regardless of if they got Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders and this or that. And for him to come back, you should have confidence in his abilities. You should set the tone of, well, these youngins still have to come out and beat me. But still, when you're in that quarterback room, you still have to work together.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of, in some respects, what you said with a preface of, look, man, I can't win. No matter what I say, I can't win. You guys are going to take it how you want. If I say I want to be a mentor, you say I'm not here to play football. And if I say that I do want, then I'm selfish. And if I do want to be a mentor, then I'm not here to play football. I think I'm the quarterback. Like, and good for Joe Flacco, man. Like, Joe Flacco's here and like, look, just because you think I'm over the hill, and I'm not going to lie, dude, this happens in every business. I've been in this market 29 years. There's plenty of young guys who come in and think that they're better than me and they want to take my job. Should I just mentor everybody? No, I still think I'm pretty damn good, so I kind of get it. I mean, do you think that's wrong? Like, I've earned things in this in this market, and this isn't directed at anybody, but I've done things right, and there's plenty of people who want what I've earned, and right, we're all fighting for our job.
It's like anything else, man.
Yeah, we're all
Absolutely.
fighting for our jobs, man. Right? And just like it's just like him. And yeah, I'll mentor, but that doesn't mean that I'm done.
Not at all.
And I think Joe Flacco's I'll mentor by how I do things. If you want my help, come to me and I'll help you. But I'm here to go to work and win football games. And I thought it was kind of the right answer. But it's a weird situation. And then he's got two rookie quarterbacks in there, two high-profile rookies, and another guy that was taken in the first round. And he's the guy who's won the Super Bowl, and he's, in large respect, not only going to be the starter, but he's somewhat the afterthought. How you can be the starter and the afterthought at the same time is one of the most bizarre situations when you start breaking down their quarterback room and their situation and the personalities and who it is and the accomplishments. I mean, if you want Hard Knocks anywhere, I want them there. They're doing the Cowboys, right? Is that what I heard recently? But you'd like to see him there, wouldn't you? The Browns?
It'd be a lot of fun. That
quarterback room would be so. All right, 505-246-0610. Big hour coming up. We got a sweet deal for you. Joe Diaz is going to be here at 8:45. For like another 6 hours, 10 hours. The chief meteorologist, Channel 7. He's retiring. Nick Nee, San Diego Golf at 8:30. Kenny Thomas at 9 o'clock. It is the opening drive. He is J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. It's 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats.
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, hockey is set. Hoops, not quite yet. Knicks stay alive in Nueva York last night. Tough at home, 111-94. Knicks over the Pacers, relatively predictable last night, although you could have said the same thing about what you thought might have happened in Dallas, but the Edmonton Oilers came in and put the hammer down. Oilers win the Western Conference Championship. They touched the trophy this time. Connor McDavid was great again, the best player in the world. The captain said last year we didn't touch the trophy and we didn't win, so this year we did, and, well, hopefully we're going to. It's the same two teams as last year in the Stanley Cup final. It'll be the Florida Panthers, the Edmonton Oilers, after the Oilers 6-3 win over the Stars in Texas last night. 4-1, they win that series. Hoops, the Knicks stay alive. It's 3-2 in the Eastern Conference final. Indiana's on top, headed back home for Game 6 tomorrow night and a chance to close it out. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. 505-246-0610. Come on in. Got a bunch of emails from you at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. And we got guests coming in, all kinds of stuff, especially this hour. Let me get some of your emails. Dan says, Jeffrey and Juan Jose, it's a fair question. JJ, when's the OD going to get a new producer so we can get a home opener scout? He says, in the meantime, here's what I found out. Idaho State had a better than expected 5-7 in Pocatello in 2024, despite having to fire their defensive coordinator mid-season. To take the next step, Coach Cody Hopkins is excited about a great recruiting class with 37 new dudes, half of them mercenaries. Bengal fans feel to beat Lobo football. Those mercenaries and a new D need to gel quickly. There's your scout.
Can you forward that to me?
Yeah, I did.
Use some of those notes on the pregame show.
Absolutely. You knew Cody Hopkins was the coach, right? Wasn't Cody Hopkins on the Lobo basketball staff a few years back?
There's some.
What was the dude's name who was accused of taking money?
Wasn't that Cody Hopkins?
Wasn't that the dude's name?
Yeah.
On Noodles' the staff? Like the ops guy? Wasn't that his name?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Dan says, investing in Lobo football, Jeffrey and Juan Jose. I looked it up. Rocky's first year, he had 8 assistants, including young Bronco Mendenhall and 2 GAs. Eck has twice that many. That doesn't sound bare bones to me. So we've already invested in the program. And what all those extra dudes do, anyone can scout a future opponent on the net now. It's not like guys are in video rooms splicing tape together at midnight. Okay.
They kind of are. Okay.
Well, they're looking.
Just digitally.
Yeah, digitally editing, not splicing. You're right. There's nothing on the floor.
And again, that's just keeping up with the Joneses, but no one wants to do that.
There's a few new jobs, like general manager now, because you're dealing with the NIL piece of it. But yeah. We're talking about Cooper Flagg making $28 million in NIL last year. Mike says $13 million, Jeff Lou. That's what the number one NBA pick is slotted for under this collective bargaining agreement. Sarah says, I think there are a lot of upgrades that can be made to the program, Jeff, that don't involve spending money. Not scheduling Lobo basketball or Lady Lobos at the same time. They don't, I mean, there's some road games, I guess, in November where basketball's on the road and Lobo football plays, right? Like that last year, that Friday night San Diego State game and the UCLA basketball game was at the same.
Well, that Saturdays.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy that they both played on Friday night that year, or the last year. She says that built needs to be utilized every Saturday. How many times this year do we have a game on Tuesday or Wednesday night and nothing on the weekend? I guess you're talking about the pit. If you do have to play Sunday, bump those games until after the end of football. Okay. 5:05. Yeah.
Like you have a whole conference you have to schedule around, not just your needs.
No, but people don't understand that you're a piece of a puzzle. People think you can just go out and just flat out schedule. Put games whenever you want, time wise. It doesn't. Okay, you've heard the term grant of rights, right? You've heard that, and the grant of rights brings you X number of $1 million. That means you are granting your rights to your home games to the league's television partners. Hence, you don't have those rights anymore. They tell you when you're playing, and that's where the money comes from. Well, we just sold out. Yeah, no, yeah, that's where the money comes from. There's got to be a value for your television partner. Fred, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Fred.
Hey, guys. Hey, I'm going to change to track and field.
Of course you are.
I want to congratulate you and him. 2 days ago, I was watching this on ESPN Plus. They're doing the NCAA West regionals and East regionals going on now. And it was so cool to hear the announcer up on the press box mentioning about Kip Curry and Samuel leading the way and just kicking everybody's butt.
Yep.
And it was so neat to hear this guy. And then yesterday, they won they went against about 50 people, I'd say. They came in first and second. And then last night, I was watching it, and that Koshy, that's only a freshman. She led almost the whole way. There was one girl from Oregon with her pretty much until the end, and then she just won by 6, 7, 8 seconds, which is a lot to win by. And so now that Koski will be in the finals for the 10,000, and then that Kip Corey and Samuel will be in the finals of the 10,000. And both of them, all three of them will be favorites to win that.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, God, that's pretty amazing to, New Mexico to get their name up there. And I was real impressed by that. And so I just want to congratulate the Lobos. And of course, we still could see Watts. I don't know what he'll run today on TV. So we'll see how he does in the 100. But anyway, congratulations to them. And they'll run on the 11th and the 14th in Eugene. And hopefully there'll be a few more people qualify tomorrow and Saturday. Anyway, I just want to bring that up.
Thanks, Fred.
Congratulations to UNM Track and Field for doing that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right,
and thanks,
see you
Fred.
guys.
Pamela Kostry was terrific. I think we'll have a correspondence up at Eugene. JJ, my nephew's working that track, the NCAA track. Maybe we get him on and do a little correspondence with him. But yeah, that was pretty big. Hey, I want to hit this quickly. I want to stay on clock in this hour best I can, but it looks like the NCAA basketball tournament's going to expand. Charlie Baker's the NCAA president. One of his top priorities, he said, was to discuss expanding the tournament. And he said that would be the goal. He says we've been talking about 72 to 76 teams. They're at 68 right now. Little by little, it's going up. Are you good? Basically, we're talking about just another Dayton-type format, right? Playing in more 16s and more 10-11s.
Yeah, so you can get the entire SEC and Big Ten
100%.
potentially into the NCAA tournament.
That's
That's what's going to happen. Yep. Am I good with it? No. But it's one of those that you have to realize it's happening. So what should it look like and how are you going to do it?
2011 was when the NCAA tournament grew to 68 teams with the 4 playing games, the first 4. It was expanded to 64 teams in 1985. We all love this bracket. And again, I tell you, it's the best sporting event in America. It's by the combination of metrics. When you talk about the excitement, the inclusiveness, how it gets everybody interested. Everybody's got a sheet. Oh, by the way, it fits on one sheet, that helps. And I keep saying, why are we going to mess with something that's not broken? And the coaches tell you, well, only 18% of the teams get in, and all the teams get in bowl games. There's a difference between bowl games and the NCAA tournament. The comparison is the playoff. The bowl games you're not playing for a championship, a national championship. The playoff, you are. The NCAA tournament, theoretically, you are. I do find there to be a difference. I go into this with super trepidation. I love that event so much. I know you do too. Dave Gavitt, the NCAA Senior Vice President of Basketball, quote, expansion, even at a modest level, is complex. More complex, I think, that has been recognized and reported because it's expensive. It's expensive because of additional travel, team travel per diem, game operations, but also the basketball performance funds, the units that are earned throughout the men's and women's basketball championships. So they got to generate that revenue, which means that they're going to have to generate it from CBS and TNT, right? That's who's got the NCAA tournament. We'll watch it because I think it's coming. All right, we're going to have a sweet deal for you coming up, 505-246-0610. It's a sweet deal that you're going to love. It's a place that you go, and if you don't, you certainly should. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Patrick Mahomes going to play flag football in the Olympics. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Coming up here in a few minutes, opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Emails still coming in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ, Bourne says there's an NIL crisis. He says, quote, I don't think folks realize that operating costs are being shifted to the backs of the students and taxpayers because starting July 1st, unless someone steps in to stop it, athletics can use the funds they were previously spending for that to pay NIL directly up to 22% of revenue. There'll be no more washing your hands of it, no more claiming it's all private money and we don't know anything about it, no more saying that it's all on Kurt Roth. That's correct. That's correct. It's going to go in-house if and when, and we all assume the House settlement's coming. So you have to budget appropriately. Will it all be on the backs of the students and taxpayers, all of it? Look, man, it's a state university. Is the cost of running Pope Joy Hall on the backs of the students and taxpayers is part of all of it? Like, yeah, but they're still going to be needing to raise revenue. The collective Kurt Roth deal is going to be in addition to, and that's going to be part of it. But Bourne, I again, you can fight it all you want. This is here to stay. If you are going to continue to compete in intercollegiate athletics at this level or any level, you're going to have to figure out how to play within the new rules. There is no yeah, but. The yeah, but is don't play anymore, and that's not the answer. If you're going to continue to sponsor intercollegiate athletics, then the answer is, you can complain all you want, but the answer is figure out how to play in the new structure. It's here. It's not going anywhere. It's not going backwards, and it's not getting cheaper. And so at this point, you need to figure it out. All right, here's something that's easy to figure out. Where are you going for some of the best New Mexican food? It's El Patron. And El Patron is your sweet deal today. It goes live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You click on the sweet deal logo, and for just $25, you get $50 worth of El Patron. Nadine is with us this morning. Nadine, good morning. We love your spot.
Good morning.
How you living?
We're doing well. We're loving the day. It's a beautiful day in Albuquerque, getting ready for summertime. Most of the kids are out of school.
Yep.
So you know what? It's a great week. It's going to be a great weekend.
All right, how are we celebrating summertime at El Patron? I'm going to guess the patio's open. We got all kinds of long happy hours, Taco Tuesdays. What are we doing over there?
Yes, all of that fun stuff. You know, today it's our official day to open both of our patios over at our Wyoming and Paseo del Norte location. We're open for breakfast, huevos rancheros, the drive-through, breakfast burritos, all of that beautiful stuff. And then, of course, at our Montgomery location, we have the patio open today. We're inviting everyone to come down and bring your pets. It's a bring your pet kind of day as well. Happy hour at both locations from 3 to close every day. So, you know, it's just going to be a fun time with some great folks and some great food.
Nadine, talk about you got this thing called Jimmy's Special Menu, right? How do people? What is that? How do people take advantage of that?
So, you know, a lot of people have asked us, hey, you know, we miss the Greek chicken. We miss the rack of lamb that you guys used to have. There's so many great dishes, our sole francais, our Parmesan sole. And so Jimmy's like, you know what, Nadine, you know, I miss them too. Let's put them on the menu. People are asking me for them. So we did it. And so we have a special menu you can request when you sit down. Our hostesses will get it to you. And we feature a lot of these items on that menu on a weekly basis. This week, our chef is featuring the Greek chicken, the full or half Greek chicken. We're also doing the souvlakia, which is the chicken kebabs. Of course, we serve it with the Greek potatoes and the Greek green beans. It's just delicious stuff that brings nostalgia back from, you know, the Yanni's days,
Yep.
Nick and Jimmy's days, Mykonos days. But there's always something for everyone at the El Patron restaurants, and so we thought we'd feature some you know, oldies but goodies that people have been asking us for.
All right. They also do events there. I know my daughter was at a graduation party there last Friday night. She's had her lacrosse team has had their end of the year banquets there. So if you're looking for a banquet, having a group together, a big party, a big celebration, El Patron is your place. Plus, I mean, everything on the menu is great. So go by if you're craving authentic New Mexican food. El Patron has you covered. Delicious on and off-site catering, unbeatable prices, and it is our sweet deal. What's the website, Nadine?
It's elpatronabq.com. You can get a lot of information there, or, you know, stop by. Like you said, there's always something going on. We do have banquet space. You know, it's just a fun place, and
Yep.
we have live music at our Montgomery location on a regular basis.
And we love it.
Mariachi is a duet. So, you know, it's just a good time to bring family and bring family together and friends.
It's our sweet deal. Hit our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Do it at 9 o'clock. And for just $25, you get $50 to spend at El Patron. Nadine, enjoy the weekend. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you. You too.
All right. It is one of our spots, dude. And that is one of our I took the boss when my boss from the other job was in town. I think last time he needed some green chili and red chili, and they got this seafood burrito, seafood calabacitas burrito with like this white, what do they call that sauce? That super yummy hot. The white sauce is on it. Anyway,
just good eating.
Yeah, it's gooder than bleep. All right. Where was I on the? I was on the NBA or the expansion on the NCAA tournament. Oh no, it was the NIL thing. It was the NIL thing that Bourne said. Look, I hate preaching, and JJ, you're with. I know you're with me on this. There's no going backwards on this. You don't have to love it. If you can't deal with it, then college athletics just isn't your thing anymore. And I always told you, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. But I'm going to tell you that fighting NIL, then why are they making this money? And why are you? The answer is you've got to either figure out how to exist in this new world, or you got to get out. Those are the only choices. Because that's where the world is now in college athletics. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. Hey, as a veteran, grizzled veteran, I guess I should say, of Michigan Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really jumping up and down and kicking my heels about Sunday morning. We have to be up at probably 4 a.m. to catch a flight.
Why'd you do that? I mean, see, you're not that much of a veteran if you made an early flight coming back. That's on you.
Well, no, because if you don't, it takes you all day to get back. I mean, I looked at all the flights.
Monday's a holiday.
I get that, but I don't want to spend, all day flying back when I can be back. If I leave at 7 a.m. from Detroit, I get back to Albuquerque by 11 a.m.
All right. You win.
If I don't get back until 10 o'clock. and that's just leaving the next flight, 10 p.m. No, it's, there used to be 18 nonstop flights between Albuquerque and Detroit, and there are none now.
That's right.
You have to fly through Chicago
I'm well aware.
Kansas City or wherever. Yep. But anyway, it's just one of the occupational hazards of being a Michigan fan. When they switch the game to 7:30, and I've been down that road, so it doesn't matter. You bite the bullet, but what it does is it makes Saturday amazing.
Yes.
Because you got all day, sit by the pool, watch football. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know, where are you staying in Ann Arbor?
At the courtyard right off of the highway there.
So,
I don't know, whatever it is. Ohio State plays Texas at noon. We're going to go have lunch. Ohio State, Texas, start having a few, and then hit the New Mexico tailgates. And my daughter's got a little tour of Michigan tailgates I got to hit as well. Like the day's going to be epic.
You'll make it by our tailgate at the Ann Arbor Golf and Outing Club.
Yep.
There's friends of mine that have been tailgating there for 100 years. Addie met them all last year. She knows where that tailgate spot is. It's just going to be a grand time, and I can't wait to welcome you to my old stomping grounds in Ann Arbor, Michigan. A couple more thoughts. The Knicks won't go away. I don't know if they can win in Indianapolis and get back, but you're right. If they get that Game 7 in the Garden, there'll be people hanging off the rafters, and there's nothing like a New York Knicks crowd in Game 7 to get the blood pumping.
That's right.
And final thought, congratulations to the track and field team at the University of Mexico. Wow, they're having a year, aren't they?
Yep, no, they're special. They're different, and they're really, really good. All right, man. Appreciate you. Enjoy the weekend. I'll talk to you before Michigan for sure. Thanks, man.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be in touch.
All right, when we come back, let's get out to San Diego Golf Club. Nick Nee, director of golf out there. We'll get you a golf tip, talk some golf. Joe Diaz is in the building. I think he's the chief meteorologist at Channel 7 for another, 10 hours or so. He's going to be with us next at 8:45 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
or surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
Deerfield Village in Dublin, Ohio. This is a big one. This is when you got all your big dogs are out there today. Colin Morikawa's 2 strokes back. Griffin at -7, Morikawa at -5, and a group of names at -3. Scotty Scheffler, Keegan Bradley, all the big dogs are out at Jack's Place. Opening drive, Jeff Simbieta and J.J. Buck. Going to get you a golf tip and check in with our good friend Nick Nee, who's the director of golf at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club. How you living, Nick?
Living well. Happy Friday. Happy start to the summer. Good time, huh?
How's the golf course looking, man? I drove by there the other day. I haven't been on your golf course in a minute, but it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, y'all need to get out. It's good. We got some spots where kind of winter killed us with how windy it was, but overall, greens are in fantastic shape. We're just rebounding, so we got some great overnight lows that allow for some turf growth, but overall, it's in great shape, and you guys need to get out.
Played a match play tournament last week. I played three days in three days in a row. Felt it a little bit. Is there a way to keep a consistency? I mean, I don't know. Like I'll play 5-6 holes and I hit the ball well, and then all of a sudden I can't get off the tee. Is it just that's the amateur game?
It is. I mean, that's just lack of reps. But at the end of the day, golf is a game of misses. You just got to be able to know what your miss is and try and minimize that miss as best you can, because it'll allow for some momentum and kind of keep rounds going. Now, as you get kind of into the thick of it, maybe some nerves, that's where you just have to really have a good, solid routine, both post-shot and pre-shot routine.
Yeah. All right, I want to run this by you. JJ and I were talking about this the other day. Somebody sent us television numbers. Golf.com put out these numbers. Live versus the PGA on Sundays. And the numbers are startling. And I don't know. I guess the answer is however long they keep pulling oil money out of the ground, they can keep paying for this. On Sundays, when tournaments are on the line, and look, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, you got big names on Live. A Sunday telecast on CBS or NBC, final round of of a PGA Tour, is averaging 3.1 million viewers, or 17.78 times more than Live. Like, how long can Live keep doing that? Because people aren't watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great argument, great conversation, because I don't see how you do. I was interested to see kind of how, with their new TV partner, how that would shake out this year from a rating standpoint. Obviously, the proof's in the pudding. And I don't, a report came out this week, rather, that obviously those guys are up for a contract renewal, and they've been told that they're not huge lump sums of money. So it's going to be interesting where rubber meets the road here within the next year or two, what sustainability they can have, because with those numbers, with not paying out those guys and them wanting to play, in the big events and maybe get world ranking points, again, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because it's going to come to a head here real quick.
You mean they're not getting another $200, $500 million signing bonus to do another 3-4 years? I mean,
crazy, right?
No, it's bonkers. It's just bonkers. All right, got a major coming up in when's Father's Day? 2 weeks? U.S. Open. These tournaments leading up to it, they mean what for these guys? Because I watch Scheffler every week, and he's just unbelievable. And I asked the other day, at one point, maybe it's sacrilege. I'm not calling him Tiger Woods, but at what point is what he's doing Tiger-esque?
Yeah, that was a great question, and Ben was right on it. What he does is Tiger-esque. I don't know if there's anybody that you can kind of say that in the last, however long, that's put those runs together. What he's able to do on the golf course when he gets it going, it's just like Tiger. Now, he doesn't have the intimidation factor, because I think there's a little bit of parity and a little bit of camaraderie amongst the players now that probably wasn't there back in the day. But what he does is tremendous, and how he handles himself, how he handles, he had a quote that, when he makes a bogey, what do you think about it? And he says, I just really believe something good's going to come the next, So he's really focused on what's ahead, right? In golf, we always talk to our juniors about, listen, the next shot's the most important shot. You can only control one. You can't control 74 or 85, or you can control one. He's really good with his mental capacity and how he can kind of compartmentalize that. But with majors coming up, these events are big for him. You see at Jack's Place at Muirfield Village, that rough is really thick. So the way they set up these courses in the next 2 weeks leading up to it are really important for these guys to get some prep, because they play against some tremendous conditions that the USGA puts out and really tests who the best golfer is that week.
All right, you got a golf tip to make us all better? JJ's over there. Fix all our game at once.
Help us all.
Yeah, I hope it makes you better, but if you need some help, you need some extra eyes, get out to your local PGA professionals. There's some tremendous pros in the section. For a tip this week, really good takeaway drill. We've talked about it in previous years, but what you're going to do is just get an alignment rod, stick it out the back end of the club along the grip. You're going to grip the club and the alignment rod. You're going to get that against your left side. It's kind of your lead side. If you're a left-handed player, to be up against your right side. And all you're really working on, there's no ball needed. There's really nothing needed other than we're just getting a feel of what a one-piece takeaway is. I heard a great quote a long time ago that I still use today from Nancy Lopez. It was, that club's got to be low and slow as it goes away. So what we're going to do here is allow the hands and the shoulders just kind of go low and slow on the takeaway. What you're going to feel is that alignment rod just work down the left side of your kind of hip down towards the bottom half of your quad. And then when you hinge the club, you'll be able to see how it properly hinges. This allows you to not pick that club up and get that club going too vertical, because then we get really handsy with the golf club.
Oh, it makes so much sense. I'm kind of Joe's watching me do it. Like I'm over here practicing my swing. No, it makes sense. And if you're looking for instruction, PGA professionals at Sandia Golf Club are excellent. All right, what's going on at your spot? I know everything's available at sandiagolf.com.
Yeah, best available rates there. But listen, if you need a reason to get out to the golf course today, one, the weather should get you there. Two, great weekend coming up. But we also have a Ping Fitty Day going on that starts here at 9 o'clock. No appointment is needed. show up, get fit for the latest and greatest in the G440 line. One of the best, most, the best manufactured equipment, I'll say, on the market is Ping equipment. It lasts a long time. It's great investments you'll make in your game. But come out, allow us to get you fit, see what we can do from a pricing standpoint. That starts at 9 o'clock, runs till 1 o'clock. And then while you're there, might as well just stop by the patio and enjoy some of Ernie's great food.
It's great stuff. Make it your lunch spot as well. It's at sandiagolf.com. My bag's full of pings. Sometimes it helps me. Every time I hit a good shot, it's because of those new pings that I got. Go see Nick. sandiagolf.com is where you can book everything. It's all right there. Enjoy the week, my friend. We will catch up with you next week.
Appreciate the time, gentlemen. Have a good weekend.
All right, be well. He is Nick Nee, the director of golf at the beautiful San Diego Golf Club. I love the pings. I got that old set at my brother's garage. That's my California clubs, JJ.
It's good to have California clubs.
That's right. I transfer them back and forth it just makes things easier. All right, when we get back, we're not saying goodbye. We're saying hello. Although the countdown's on, just under 10 hours, that he will be the chief meteorologist at Action 7 News. Joe Diaz is here on his last day before retirement, or maybe this is retirement day. Joe Diaz next in studio. Can't wait for it. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
Joe Diaz has been a friend of mine for a lot of years, and I was on the set the day that the torch was passed from Howard Morgan to Joe Diaz, and for a little under 10 hours now, Joe Diaz will be the chief meteorologist at KOAT Action 7 News. He's retiring, and he is in studio. He'll do the 6 o'clock news tonight. Will be his last one. It's kind of like my last day at Channel 7. That they had me get out of there early too on my last day. But I'm going to guess your last day at Channel 7 is going to be a little different. I don't remember the balloons and everything. Congratulations on your retirement and a great career.
Hey, thanks a lot. I did collectively 38 years at KOAT, and I was there from 79 to 89. Went to other markets for about 8 years in Texas and California, and when the opportunity came back in 1997, 28 years ago, I jumped at it.
I was there.
Yeah, and you were there. I remember. I remember. Hey, okay, what was that thing that you had? Where you had was the Jeff
the
Challenge?
I Challenge Jeff.
I Challenge Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you remember coming to my house with doing the I Challenge Jeff?
I did Foursquare with your son, and then across the street you had the. I say that little boy, the kid's probably making millions of dollars and all grewed up now, but we did that little basketball horse challenge with him. Yeah.
I tell you what, I mean,
that was one of the best ever.
Yeah, I mean, like when I came there in '97, our offices were right next door to each other, and so we hung out a lot and got to know you pretty well, and still we hang out every now and then.
It's good for you this morning. I mean, you knew this was coming, right? And like you're one of the few who get to go out on your terms, which is a blessing, and I know you know that.
Yeah.
We all. I don't care if you're an athlete or whatever it is you do. You want to go out on your terms, and you're going out on your terms. You got to set your date. You got to have the celebration, the remembrance, and all the things. But you woke up today. You just showed me the countdown clock. Does it feel weird, like knowing this is the last one in today?
I'm just excited about the new chapter, to tell you the truth. And, you know,
I love that.
Channel 7 is great. I mean, it's like if I wanted another contract, they would give me another contract, you know, but I just said no. I mean, it's time for me to do other things, you know. I mean, because I'm 67 years old and, you know, I've been doing this for 46 years and, you know, I think there's other things you need to focus on. Like when I'm at the gym, you know, it's just like I'm looking at the clock and I'd like to spend more time there, but now I can, you know, it's wonderful. And I'd like to go swim some laps, but I don't have time. But now I have time to swim laps.
You know, those of us who get into something we love, and I know you love what you do.
Oh, absolutely.
You love, and I've always said there's a difference of people who, and I believe you want to be in TV. There's people who want to be on television and people who want to be in television, right? And I've always, you can tell the difference, right? And then I think you love forecasting the weather.
Oh, I absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm addicted to forecasting the weather. And that's one reason I didn't retire earlier is because, like, well, what would I do if I didn't? You know, let me tell you what happens, though, is that, you know, you start thinking, you go to, like, the thing called YouTube. So you go to YouTube and you go retirement ideas, you know, and there's a lot of focus on, you know, just do you have enough tucked away and all that stuff. But there's a whole nother element to it is like, you really need to have a structured retirement, you know? So
sitting on the couch isn't going to work?
No. You're not going to be streaming Netflix all day long. So you know, I look to have like a structured retirement. Well, this time is for the gym. This time is for this time is for that. And think about it. I've never had nights off.
No,
look,
I've been there. Like, what are you going to do in your evenings? You and Diane are going to have dinner together. Like what, I mean, I hope that's a good thing, right?
Well, we have, you know, on most nights I can come home for dinner, right?
Okay. And then you got to go back to work.
And then I go back to work. But for her, it's like, you know, it's I get there at 7 and I got to leave at 8.
Right.
You know. So last night she said, "This is the last time where I have to make dinner and it has to be on the table at 7."
Right.
And so you know, I look to pick up some of the load on making dinner. I'm mostly a griller kind of guy, but she does this Pinterest things, you know, so I signed up for Pinterest. I see these ideas about pork chops and stuff, and I look to be doing more cooking as well.
You know, Joe Diaz is with us. He's the chief meteorologist at KOAT Action 7 News, and tonight's his last broadcast, Channel 7 at 6 o'clock. Everything evolves. We were just talking about athletics evolving and college athletics and this and that. Your industry, and from when I was there, man, but you started out by writing on almost like a whiteboard, right? Writing the temperatures on there. Now you got these insane graphics. How many generations of evolution of technology you think you went through, and how hard was it to evolve with each one of them?
It was just a blessing to evolve with each and every advancement. I mean, when I started in the 1979, when I started, you know, 2-day forecasts are kind of reliable, and days 3, 4, and 5. You know, when I tell other meteorologists what the process was to do days 3, 4, and 5, they just can't believe it. You know, it's like, you know, tablets on stone. You know, they go, well, and, you know, and I tell other meteorologists, when I started here in 1979, they didn't have any radar, National Weather Service radar, anywhere in the Rocky Mountain states. So you just were flying blind, basically.
You're guessing.
And the reason we didn't have any...
By the way, we knew it.
The reason they didn't have any radar is because the radars at the time couldn't block out the mountains. And so they just didn't put any radar in the Rocky Mountains. So we didn't have radar. Phoenix didn't have radar.
Because the mountains got in the way.
Yeah. Tucson, Denver, all the way up. And so... You know, we finally got Doppler radar in Albuquerque in like the mid-90s, and then Channel 7 bought their own radar as well. But could you imagine forecasting in New Mexico with no radar?
No, and that's what you were doing. You know, we used to jealously, I say, mock you guys, because we always thought, when I was doing sports and then when I was doing news and TV, thought you had the best job ever. You know, you get a clothing and hair allowance, you get paid pretty well, you get more time than any of us do, and you don't have to be right. I used to say when I was doing sports, if I get the scores wrong, my phones light up. People want to, you know, they want to kill me. If I get it wrong in the news, well, I say he died and he didn't die, I get fired. You guys, well, I mean, I don't know. A front came in and the high disseminated or whatever. That was always the running joke. But it's obviously been a great career and a great gig for you.
Oh yeah, I just I love forecasting. I love nowcasting. I love doing the severe weather outbreaks. There's nothing about forecasting and weather that I don't love. So yeah, this will be a transition where you close the chapter after 46 years,
Yeah.
30 at Channel 7.
Anything you didn't do that you wanted to accomplish? I mean, you've accomplished, so you're a Hall of Famer. You've won all kinds of awards. You've been on the top-rated newscast for years. Is there anything? I'm not going to ask you what your favorite moment was, but is there anything maybe you look back and say, there was one thing I wanted to do, or did you check all the boxes?
Well, I've never been asked that question before, but looking back, I think I checked all the boxes.
Yeah, no, that's
because
pretty
you know,
full.
in this business, you're always looking forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm going out the door
It makes
feeling
it
pretty good.
damn full.
Yeah.
You're going out at the top of your game. You're going out on your terms. You're going out with a smile on your face, doing something that you still love. I think you won.
I think so too.
Yeah,
We agree on that.
Yeah, no, congratulations. I think it's tremendous. Is there anything you'll miss, or maybe that's a question I asked you in 6 months?
Yeah, you probably asked me. Well, you know, you just got to get used to. You know, I got a good camaraderie when I go into work. You know,
Yeah.
I don't just get along with the newsroom. You know, I mean, everybody down the halls.
Yeah.
I enjoy their company and everything. So, I think you're going to obviously miss the camaraderie that you have. But then you just got to focus on, you know, present and going forward. You know, there's going to be new people to hang with and new things to do. And yeah, I mean, like there's groups that cycle during the week. Well, I'm going to be part of these groups. There's groups that hike during the week. Well, I'm going to be part of these. I might start my own hiking group.
Really?
You know? Yeah, sure.
I mean, I got hiking right outside the house. Like come
Yeah.
on up and do our trails.
What?
I mean,
Absolutely.
come up that way. Now, look, you've been New Mexico's weatherman for a lot of years, and you've been beloved, and you've done it the right way. You know, people ask me all the time, "Hey, what's this person like? What's that person like?" And I've known you for a lot of years, and when I get asked, you know, what's Joe like? I said, Joe's like what you see. Like there's genuine. I used to say when I was on TV, I don't want to get into character. I want to be the same guy that you see at the dinner table, at the bar, at the ball game that you see on TV. If I have a bad day, I don't want to get into character. I was always good being me, and I always felt the same way about you. You're good being you. You're confident with who you are. You do the right thing the right way for the right reason, and I'm proud to call you a friend. Congratulations on just an insanely successful career. You win, Joe Diaz. You win. Congratulations. Best of luck in your retirement.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, and thanks for being a friend all these years.
Well, I know I will stay in touch with you, and New Mexico will see you around because you're not going anywhere.
Not
So you
going
see him in the ballpark or on the hiking trail or at the store. Say, hey, Joe, how you living? Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
Kenny Thomas is in next. We'll kick it with Kenny, the former Lobo All-America, 11-year NBA veteran. We'll talk some NBA with him. He's retired, too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Sports Animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Man, I'm glad we got to do that. Really glad we got to spend a little time with Joe Diaz. He's been New Mexico's weatherman since that day in, 1998, where he took over for Howard Morgan. And I remember being on the set that day, and he's retiring. I got to also remember to watch the last show tonight at 6 o'clock. But Joe's a friend. Joe's legit. Joe wins, and super happy for Joe Diaz in that 38-year career over at Channel 7. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How's your car looking? I know, because mine's due too. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is going to come over and take care of that for you. They will come out and detail your vehicle at your convenience. That means where it works for you and when it works for you. At the office, at the house. Call them, text them, go get online, book online. They detail your vehicle. That's what the auto dealers do. They detail your car. You'll get that new car feel. It'll look and feel and smell brand new, but you won't have the new car price. It's a great gift. Look, your car is one of your biggest investments. Protect it. Talk to them about paint protection film, ceramic coating. You'll prevent those nasty scratches and stains of the fading paint. It's all online. They're awarded best in the city because they're best in the city. Visit them at otsdetailing.com. Book and buy at otsdetailing.com. All right, let's kick it with Kenny, the former Lobo All-America, and 11-year NBA veteran Kenny Thomas, who also, by the way, is retired, just like Joe Diaz. after the Knicks' 111-94 victory over the Pacers keeps it going. What's going on, Kenny Thomas? How you living?
Man, I'm good. What do you mean also retired? Of course I'm retired.
And Joe
man.
Diaz
you can only play basketball for so long. What are you talking about?
And Joe Diaz was just in, and he's retiring. I mean, he said, what do you say, 67 years old, and I'm done. Now he's going to go have fun. See, he's in retirement too. That's what I mean. Also, Joe was just saying we're celebrating him.
Man, Joe, yeah, I saw that as far as the Cumulus family sending out all that about Joe. Man, there's things about Joe that's been amazing. He was the one that got me in over at KKOB when I was over there working for I think it was 9-10 months. He got me in the door when I was doing some stuff over there for Channel 7. He's an amazing dude. I was able to get to meet him. Over the last couple of years, I saw him at an ALS golf tournament event. You know about those, the event before, which is held at Shane's house. That's where I met him, Shane Westholder. And he's one of those guys to where his presence has always been there. I've seen him growing up throughout the years, and his wife Donna, she's amazing too. So. Diane. I got to give a lot of respect to Joe from the standpoint of his amazing career and the passion that he has for the state of New Mexico. And being in this community as long as he has for over 30 years is amazing. And, I had to give him some respect and some shout-out from that perspective. He's just a good dude.
Yep, that's right. All right, last night, Knicks stay alive. I found it to be a little predictable. The most desperate team won. JJ made a really good point earlier. JJ, say what you said earlier, because as far as what you thought about Indiana.
I just, you know the way the Knicks were going to come out and play in this game. Yeah. And then you have Pascal Siakam after the game saying, the Knicks just played harder than us. Why? You knew what was going to happen, so why is it that there was this kind of element of coasting through the game?
Well, I mean, going back home, the Knicks needed obviously it was a desperate win. Being 3-1, the way that the Pacers came out in Game 3 and Game 4, they basically dominated those games. The Pacers are able to get out and run a lot more in Game 3 and 4. It was a totally different strategy that the Knicks came out with when they were basically playing Halliburton like they were playing Ant-Man in the last series, as far as OKC always having another guy running at him, or always having two guys that's off the ball whenever he tried to drive or get things going. When you have a guy like Halliburton that only has 5 attempts, obviously that's not a look. But he was playing the right way, which is what Ant-Man was saying. He was playing the right way by trying to make the actual correct passes, but his teammates just weren't able to knock down shots. But the way the Knicks came out with the energy that they had, especially in that first half, and then when I saw the score 61-48, I was like, okay, well, the Knicks have something here, which is one of the opportunities that the Knicks capitalize on, being able to go home and get a win to actually possibly have a chance to be able to have a shot in Game 6. I just don't see it from the standpoint of the Knicks winning Game 6.
If they do, I think they win the series, don't you think? I mean, the winner... I said Game 4, I thought the winner of that wins the series, and certainly I think the winner of Game 6 wins the series. Obviously, if Indiana does, it's over, but I just don't know that I think Indiana goes... If they lose 2 in a row, I don't think they go back to New York and win again.
Oh, I totally agree with you. See, in the last game, Anthony Towns they didn't even know if he was going to play. I mean, the guy's been limping. Obviously, he's had some issues when it comes to injuries, right? And he's a big fella from the standpoint of being able to get up and down the floor. But this is where you got to dig deep. This is where you have an opportunity to actually put the Knicks back in an opportunity to be able to go into a situation being able to go into the NBA Finals. The Knicks haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years, I think, or so. So it's great, obviously, for that market, but New York is a different beast, and playing in the Garden is a whole different element. So I totally agree with you. I feel like the Knicks, if they have a chance to be able to stay close in Game 6, if it goes Game 7 and they go back to New York, yeah, the Knicks got that.
All right, Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking with Kenny. Tyrese Halliburton's taking it for going, 2 for 7, only taking 7 shots, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists last night from your star. I'm a little loath to start banging on guys after one game, right? One bad performance.
Yeah.
But Anthony Edwards took it. Look, if you're the guy and you don't show in a big game, and that was a big game. It was a closeout game. You're going to take it a little bit. I thought he sat there. He answered the questions. How much heat should Tyrese Halliburton be taking after his performance last night?
How much what?
Heat.
Tyrese what?
How much heat should Halliburton be taking?
It's one game. I totally agree with you. It's one game, and he's been playing extremely well at the right times and knocking down winning shots. So those things happen. But when you have a guy like Bennett, I forgot his last name. He's a guard for the Pacers that came out and had about I think he went past his career high, like 23 points. That came in and sparked the Pacers, right? I feel like guys like that's going to be able to come in and help complement Tyrese because he's not going to be able to do it. Because when you have a squad and a coach in Tibbs from the standpoint of knowing how to change up the dynamic and change up the flow of the game, Halliburton is not always going to be that guy that's going to score. So you got to have the role players that are coming in. When you have Pascal Siakam that doesn't play the type of ball that he's been playing, you just can't have those opportunities. And when you have even a Miles Turner that's not playing that well for Indiana right now, who I feel like he's that X factor, kind of like with Towns, to where he needs to come in and produce a little bit more. But I'm not worried as far as like Indiana playing at home, because I feel like they've been playing at home very well, and the way the Knicks just limited Indiana from getting up and down the floor and playing a half-court game, I think that helped the Knicks, and it's going to be a different game in Game 6 in Indiana.
Benedict Mathurin, I think, is who he's talking about. He's Kenny Thomas with us on the Sports Animal.
Yeah.
Yo, Kenny, what do you make of what Tibbs has done in the last couple of games, putting Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup, just playing big early, and then bringing Josh Hart off the bench?
Well, that's a great question. It's changing it up. It's mixing it up to where Robinson, he's coming in and he's obviously he's helping them on the rebounding side and playing defense, because I feel like he's that rim protector for them, especially when Indiana's trying to get to the rim, because unfortunately Anthony Towns is not that guy that can actually help them as far as like protecting the rim because of his mobility. But Hart in this last game, Hart came in at the right time and he brought energy, which is a whole different component because he's a guard and he's helping them on the perimeter when it comes to defense. So I think Tibbs is like looking at the defensive aspect of it to a certain extent because they need it, because the Pacers are a very dynamic team, especially when coming downhill.
Kenny Thomas is with us. We're going to take a break. On the other side, I want to get into the Oklahoma City Thunder, how they finished off the Minnesota Timberwolves. Your thought on them as they head into the NBA Finals, and they'll get over a week of rest. I want to talk to you a little bit about thought process on closeout games and maybe your thoughts on expanding the NCAA tournament. We're kicking it with Kenny. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is The Herd.
Wow, 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 wow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or...
Former Lobo great and 11-year NBA veteran Kenny Thomas joins us. And KT, Oklahoma City finished things off. 5 games. They took care of Minnesota. Insanely impressive. I was looking for a name. I don't know if it was the obliteration in Oklahoma or they just put the old okey doke on Minnesota, but whatever it was, they kicked the crap out of Minnesota in Game 5 and won that decisively.
Man, come on. You got Ant-Man in the press conference next to Mike Conley talking about, I don't know why people would think it would hurt. I'm excited. It's exciting for me. I'm 23. Come on, man.
What do you think of that?
And then you got Michael Conley, making faces like, did this dude really just say that?
All right, so go to that, man. So because he thinks that he's been to this level, Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. Maybe he just thinks this is what it is and it's going to be every year. I think most of us think he's going to be back, but you never ask Dan Marino. You never know. What do you think of those comments?
Man, you never know. I mean, he's 23. Maybe that just comes with the maturity side of it. But I love him on the floor. This is one of the things that I talk about on my Unfiltered show just last week about. I love him on the floor, but the things that he does, it's not needed. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. It would hurt. Like, you even said it last week or earlier this week on Tuesday. Like, you never know. This guy might be gone, and he's one of those guys that can make things happen if he wants out. But I would be surprised if he wants out of Minnesota. I feel like that's a franchise to where they're building, and they got a couple pieces that they need. But he needs some help from the standpoint of somebody that can consistently score to where the focal point doesn't have to be on him. Because once again, when you have teams that are like sagging in and playing in on him to where you're allowing other guys to have opportunity to score it, and then your supporting cast doesn't score. So
what do they need?
Okay.
Who do they need? Because I look at the market. I hear Giannis out there, and I hear Knicks or Celtics for Giannis, which the Celtics thing would be like a Jaylen Brown, some crazy trade.
Yeah.
You got to have something to give to get. I don't know what Minnesota has. What do they do? Because 2 years in a row, I don't think it's a failure. 2 years in a row going to the Western Conference Final. That franchise, I mean that's pretty damn good. Especially saying, hey, they traded Cat in the offseason. Who thought they'd be back? But how did they get over the hump? What did they do to make the next step?
I got one for you.
I'm listening.
And I'm going to talk about it tomorrow on my show, but what about Kevin Durant and Ant-Man playing together? Like, that would be nice. And then Minnesota got to sign Reed back.
I love
But then maybe that's where Randolph is gone. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to take Gobert's contract. Rudy Gobert's contract is huge, right? So, I don't know, man. Mike Conley's on his last couple legs. He's getting up there.
That's right.
But I can see KD there, like that. And then that'll teach Ant, to a certain extent, how to be more of a professional on and off the court.
JJ, what does Minnesota have? Are they in a position where they have assets?
It's future assets, so because they traded a bunch for Rudy Gobert. Okay. So you're going to have to get a team willing to accept, picks in like 28, 29. It's for KD, like that price tag is not going to be outrageous anymore, man. Like it's.
What do you think of what Kenny's saying?
I totally agree. I totally agree as far as the Kevin Durant price tag.
I don't hate that.
Right now. With him being at the position that he's in, I think he would even take less money to go to a better opportunity.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
but Phoenix hoses right. It's like you're gonna have to give Phoenix something, right?
Give them whatever they want.
At that point,
to a certain extent.
Yeah. All right, Oklahoma.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with JJ.
Yeah. All right, Oklahoma City. Let's just assume Indiana, but I don't know that I want to assume that. Is Oklahoma City by far the best team? They've proven a lot to me. They're different, right? They're different because, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I said this the other day. It feels like they fit that market. It's a bunch of kind of aw shucks guys, right? It's the smallest market in the NBA. It's not Philly, New York, LA, Miami. It's just not. It's Oklahoma freaking City. But it feels like those guys fit it. This whole cheesy, we get together and watch movies and have dinner thing seems like it's genuine and it works and it feels so unique in the NBA.
Man, I've gone there and played in a charity celebrity basketball game with like Robert Ory, who played in the NBA, and some other guys. When you're there, that culture is amazing. And you got to also keep in mind, Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell was there. And then that actually elevated OKC to where you're putting them on the map to where they're a pretty good organization. Now they're right back in the position that they're in again when those guys were playing, right? To where that environment and that culture is better than what people think it may be. But I wasn't sold on OKC, and I think you know that. Yeah. And I said that because I felt like they just weren't there. But what they've done in the playoffs, man, they were talking about beating teams by 50, 43, 33, 25, and doing it convincingly. I don't care if it's the Knicks or the Pacers. I feel like the Pacers might have a better chance to make it go 6 or 7. But if the Knicks ends up playing OKC, I got OKC in 5 against the Knicks, and then OKC in like 6 or 7 over the Pacers, to be honest. And I'm gonna stick to that, and I'm not changing it.
All right, I want to hit you with this before we get out of here. There's talk about expanding the NCAA tournament. I find it to be the best sporting event in our country. I think it's 3 weeks. Everybody gets involved. Everybody's got a shot. There's, it's just, I love the drama. JJ and I think, are both on the same place. We don't want to expand it, but it's going to expand. It sounds like it's going to go, what are we at, 68 now? Probably going to 72, 74, something like that.
That is correct.
So probably another Dayton site, right? There'll be more playing games, and I feel like it should be elite. I don't believe the comparison that, well, football, 80% or whatever the number is, go to bowl games. Bowl games are different than the NCAA tournament. Bowl games, you're not playing for a championship. You have 12 now going to go to 16 in the playoff. Your thoughts on expanding the NCAA tournament?
Man, I agree with you guys. Like, it has to be earned than given. But with everything the way it's changing right now, it's becoming more and more of a money grab. There's more opportunities for the NCAA to make money by obviously adding more teams. But even the bowls, obviously, Jeff, you know about the bowl situation. I totally agree with that. And then expanding the whole college situation of the playoffs, like, I don't like it, but it's just one of those things. It's inevitable, right? Because look at the NBA, it's expanding to Europe. Look at football, it's expanding. So it's just one of those things that's going to happen. And hey, maybe it's more opportunities to get some teams into the from the Mountain West Conference.
No, I think it's going to be more SEC. I think they're just going to get the whole SEC and the whole Big Ten in there. I mean, that's where the drive is.
That's a given, because that's a money. I mean, obviously those organizations and
those leagues. I mean,
those leagues are going to make more money, obviously, because those are the ones that have all the big money.
They only have 13 SEC teams in there. I mean, how can we have a tournament with only 13 SEC teams?
How can we? That's just how it is, because obviously these leagues are going to get the best players because there's more money there.
Yeah,
it's always been that way.
Hey, let me ask you. I got one more thing. I know.
What's
that
up?
was the last one.
No, you're good.
And I'm not going to ask you to break down his play. I don't assume you saw him play in Croatia. This Tomislav Buljan, a 6'9" forward who's coming in. The Lobos got a 22-year-old freshman who played 2 years professionally in Croatia.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much experience you have playing against guys who come from overseas. My gut tells me there's got to be a toughness because he's been playing against grown men. He comes in as a freshman. Like, it's a different world. When you were a freshman, you were 18 years old, coming out of Albuquerque High, going up against grown men. It's a different world. I kind of love this for New Mexico. I haven't seen him play other than the few highlights on YouTube, but it feels like you're getting a grown-ass man coming in with a little bit of an attitude, which is kind of ideal for a brand-new roster. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, we talked about this on Tuesday.
All right, those are his thoughts. I guess Kenny be gone. He cut out. All right. Well, we're at the end of it. You can listen to his show. It's Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. He'll tell you about it. Kenny, tell us about it if you can hear us. Tell us about it tomorrow morning. Let me see. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Yeah, you cut out. Go ahead and.
No.
All right. Your phone cut out. Listen to Kenny tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. He will be on the air, him and Zay. He's got his own show tomorrow, and every morning here on The Sports Animal. You'll get his opinion on that, as well as the NBA. You can call Kenny. It's called Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, and it'll be tomorrow morning and every Saturday right here at 10 o'clock on The Sports Animal. I'm going to get back into some NFL stuff that we didn't hit yet. The SEC, what do you feel about storming the field? We talk about it in hoops. SEC is trying to make it harder, and I think some great news in regards to the legacy of the late, great Mike Leach. We're going to do that when we get back. Next weekend, sizzling at Twin Peaks. Not this coming weekend, but next, you can meet the Miss Twin Peaks contenders in person. They're going to do a poster signing event from June 6th on June 6th from 5 to 7. And then stick around for Tequila and Cervezas Fridays. It's handcrafted margaritas, 29-degree imports. They'll have a costume party, which will be worth raising your glass to. And don't miss the Neon Bikini Bash, June 7 through 10. Cocktail specials, wall-to-wall views of the Miss Twin Peaks live stream. It's a full weekend of flavor, fun, and unforgettable views, and it's only at Twin Peaks. And make Twin Peaks your stop for lunch, happy hour as well. They got you covered. Midday routines, savory soups, salads, hearty sandwiches for $7.99, and then happy hour with handcrafted cocktails, top shelf spirits, and the coldest beers in the game. So whether you're on break or off the clock, there's always something cooking for you at Twin Peaks. It's great food, it's great drinks, and even better views, and it's only at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We hoe on Fridays. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if you got your funky bus fare.
All right. Happy Friday to you on a short week. You know, this has always been a big Mike Leach house. The late, great Mike Leach won the, what year was it, 2012? What New Mexico Bowl was that? God, feels like a minute ago when Washington State came in and pulled off an insane victory over Nevada. It was I'm sorry, they lost the game. Washington State lost the game. I'm thinking of a different game. I'm thinking of Rich Rod. When Washington State lost an incredible game to Colorado State, 49-48. Mike Leach passed away and was not until yesterday eligible for the Hall of Fame. JJ, I think this is a ridiculous criteria. To get into a Hall of Fame as a coach, somehow the National Football Foundation had a benchmark that you had to have a winning percentage of 60%. Now, you could be a great coach and spend a bunch of years somewhere and not win and drags. I just think it's ridiculous that there's an arbitrary number. Mike Leach's winning percentage was .596, just short of the 60%. And so the College Football Foundation set new eligibility at 595, which makes him eligible. It makes Les Miles eligible, who's 597. It now makes Rich Rodriguez eligible. I didn't realize all the New Mexico Bowl ties, by the way. Rich Rodriguez is a disciple of Mike Leach. Sonny Dykes, TCU's coach, was on Leach's staff. Sonny Dykes won last year's game. Hal Mumme, the former New Mexico State coach, said, and I think he's right. Hal Mumme, who was super close with Mike Leach, said it's the only sane thing to do. He said, why is 60% the magic number? I mean, not everyone gets to coach at Notre Dame or Texas or something. Throw the rule out and vote people in on merit. Ding freaking ding, no? I mean, why is there got to be some criteria? Well, you have to win 60% of your game. Tell me in what world the contributions that Mike Leach made to football, not only innovatively, but just as a character and what he did. Tell me in what world he's not a Hall of Famer.
There's not a world where he's not in the College Football Hall of Fame.
But there was that world.
Because of this 60% mark, which you're right, it doesn't make sense to just have that mark. Because if you don't win, you're not going to get in. So it's like, it's not, they don't put people in just to put them in.
Well, but let's just say a guy starts out at, I don't know, Kent State, New Mexico, pick a place, and he starts out with a 22-45 record and then goes on and wins national championships at Notre Dame or Florida. Well, it theoretically could. A Bill Belichick type start where, you're just in a place that isn't winning, but you're recognized as an upcoming young coach. You get a job on a staff like, maybe Mississippi, like Zach Arnett did, and you become head coach and become whatever. I mean, certainly there's a path for that. But you're not at 60% or now 595, and you can't be able. I just think it's an arbitrary, ridiculous number. And I think if you eliminate it, it's never going to come into play, really. But if it does, it's going to be for someone special. And this would be one of those. I'm just glad they got rid of that. I really am. One other college football note. So the SEC, what was it last year? $200,000 or something. They're fining schools for teams storming the field, and they've upped their. It was $250 last year. They're up to $500,000 for the school for storming the field. I don't know how you're keeping 80,000 people off the field, but the motivation. Greg Sankey, the commissioner, said field rushing is field rushing the first or the 18th time. The random nature of if you're the one getting rushed, it doesn't feel good. It might be the first time, but it might be your 6th time in a row, literally. And so they're trying to eliminate that. Okay. I see the danger piece of it. $500,000 is where they're going. Hey, Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Robert.
Hi. Yeah, my comment this morning has to do with the NBA pushing the players further and further down the bench. In fact, a few of the New York Knicks were sitting on the floor. A couple of their players were sitting on the floor. It looks like they're replacing those seats with, they're putting coaches. There was like 6 coaches that I counted. There was 4 on the bench and then another 3 or 4 in back of the bench. And not only that, I don't know if you watched the game last night, but the fans were really sitting where the players should be. And I guess it's all about money. I'm sure the fans are paying the big bucks to sit there, but I don't think that's fair to the players. I think they ought to at least have a seat for the players to sit in. That's my comment this morning. Have a good one.
You right. It's so random. I mean, he's not wrong. I've noticed it. We've all noticed it. Like at the NBA games, especially those games, right? The high-profile ones. The fans are literally like the coaches in front of the fans. The bench is all the way down at the end. And, yeah, man, there's a lot of coaches, and he's not wrong. There should be a seat for each guy. I'm sure there is. But where are you going to put Timothy Chalamet? Where's Kylie Jenner supposed to sit? I mean, I already got Patrick Ewing sitting in, like, the second row in the end zone. Where am I supposed to put all these guys? Kind of somewhat kidding. Yeah, I've noticed it. Never really bothered me. Till now. Now it really bothers me. And it's kind of different in New York than it is in Oklahoma City, isn't it?
Just a bit.
That's actually really good stuff. All right. What haven't I hit yet? Ooh, Chris Sale. This is a big deal. The Chris Sale, the baseball stuff is actually really good. All right, I'll hit you with some big baseball news. I'll give you World Series favorites. I'll break the lead. The Rockies are not the favorites to win the World Series. 505-246-0610. Wrap you up when we get back. Get you ready for a big weekend. Hey, if you've been the victim of property crime, and if you haven't, you know someone who has, you're well aware property crime's real. It's growing. The officer shortage in our city is an issue. The response time is too long. That's why I trust International Protective Service. IPS watches my home. It's affordable private security. They come by every single day. When I travel, they're by a bunch of times. They keep the bad guys away. I always ask you the question, who's watching your home when you're not there? It's a real question, and I hope it's the good guys. They respond within 7 minutes or less to alarms that go off at properties they monitor. That's businesses, that's homes. They also offer full-time guards if you want 24-hour-7 protection around your property, your home, your business. They install alarms, camera systems, state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. This all raises the level of security around your home. So who's watching your home? Look, don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at IPSglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
He went 6 scoreless innings. Braves beat the Phillies 9-3. So he's done it in 2,026 innings. And the previous number was Randy Johnson in 2107 and 2/3. So he did it in about, 3 1/3 innings quicker, which is really, really tight, by the way. He's the 40th pitcher in Major League history to reach 2,500 strikeouts, which is a big, big mark. And as far as active pitchers, only Sale, Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, and Max Scherzer have done it. And JJ, I think with the reduced innings, and you're going to see less and less guys hitting this milestone.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like you don't see guys winning 20 games anymore. You don't see guys like when I heard Tarek Skubal threw his first complete game the other day in his career. I'm like, wow, how's guy
that won the Cy Young last year.
Yeah, the guy that won the Cy Young didn't throw a complete game. Like it's just such a different game than when some of us grew up. But yeah, that happened last night. World Series odds: Yankees and Dodgers. Right? Dodgers are the best odds to win the World Series, plus 240. Yankees plus 550. Guess who's third? Go ahead. I know you know, JJ, but guess. Sit in your car, wherever you are. The Tigers and the Mets. Give me some Tigers. Tarek Skubal. I'm going to find me a Tigers game this year. You ever been to that stadium? You ever been to Detroit?
I've never been to Detroit.
Yeah, I've been at the stadium but never saw a game. I was there kind of in the winter, and Ford Field's right across the street, but I'd love to see a game there. Vince, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Vince.
Hey, how's it going, guys? The Tigers are definitely a strong team. They can do it all. They've got great starting pitching. Yep.
They play wonderful defense, and they can hit the ball, too, all throughout the lineup. So, yeah, that is definitely a tough team. I'm glad you brought up the point about NCAA making this change and allowing Mike Leach in. There's no one that's more deserving of being in the College Football Hall of Fame. He's touched so many people, and he is there. His branch out of his coaching tree is so wide. It's incredible. And, he always had one of the highest graduation rates throughout his entire time at Texas Tech, at Washington State, and at Mississippi State. So that really speaks well, of him not just being a coach, but also looking after the student athlete. And if you haven't read the book, Swing Your Sword, because he was the pirate, and that was kind of his mantra and his identity. He talks about the defensive coaches that he had the biggest fits against, and it's great because he talks about Rocky Long. And just how Rocky could scheme. He was so tough to go up against.
Yeah, no, and
when
he
Rocky
talked about
was still at UNM, he said it was just an incredible battle going up against Rocky Long. But it's a good book, and I'm glad you guys brought that up. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Vince. Let me tell you something. And he talks about how many people he touched. JJ, I've been running this bowl game this will be 20 years. So we've done 19 games. That means we have hosted 38 teams. And this is not, so we've had great coaches, great people, great characters. And this is not diminishing anybody. But I think the coach who made the biggest impact on our people, and I got to spend 4 days with Mike and got to know him a little bit and would text on and off with him over the years until he passed away. I think Mike made the biggest impression on our stakeholders of any coach that we've had. And Mike was up in the hospitality room, and yeah, he enjoyed a cocktail. But he was interacting with our board members, our people, our sponsors, our partners. He asked them questions, not just told stories, although he told stories. Like, if I would ask our people who have been around the game for, as we celebrate 20 years, I think Mike, and look, Rich Rodriguez was great, Rocky Long was great, Jim McElwain was great, Sonny Dykes. I mean, we've had great coaches come through here. But I think Mike made the biggest impression because he was so honestly interested in people and asking about their stories and telling his stories, and it wasn't just about football. He was just a genuinely engaging, amazingly unique, and bright individual. That's why this has always been a big Mike Leach house.
And he absolutely should be in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Inarguable. 505-246-0610. Terry, good morning. Welcome to your segment. It's the opening drive.
Good Friday, Jeff. Good Friday, JJ. Thoughts and hugs to all family members. To me, Clyde Live Golf. I've always been against it, but PGA, even a simpleton like me, Saturday, Sunday, 1 o'clock, I either turn on 4 or 13, I find golf. Live, who knows where it was? Is it in the middle of the night? Whichever. I thought they were trying to destroy the PGA through the court system and bankrupt them, and that didn't work out. So we'll see where that goes. And that Rory skipping the Memorial, I don't know why. I guess he has his reasons, but pretty big tournament. Jack took the high road saying, no, he didn't say anything to me. He just didn't show up. But, Jeff, you're a bigger man than me. If you're going up to Michigan to hang out with your daughter cruising frat row, when my daughter's in college, it's like there's some things I just didn't want to know. But, you have a good time on that. Have a few.
I'm not cruising frat row. I'm going to go. No.
Long run and come back.
Terry, I'm not cruising frat row. I'm going to hit a couple of tailgates to which I have been invited.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to the frat parties.
Some of them are run by the frat guys.
Yeah. I'm not going to the frat house. I'm not hanging out in the basement. I don't want to know. I mean, she'll tell me the little she tells me. No, I'm not going to the frat parties with her, though. I promise you that.
Okay. All righty. Well, that's a good thing and all that, but, have a wonderful time up there. And I'm glad it sounds like Addie's happy and having a good time, and I'm sure she's doing well in her studies. But, there's some things I just didn't want to know as a dad.
That's totally fair.
Okay. You guys have a great weekend. Take care. Be safe.
All right, let me be very clear. I'm not, like Michigan and New Mexico. So, JJ, She sent me an audio memo with some frat boy. And he invited me to, I think he did call me Jeffy. But he told me to pull up on their
Pull up,
tailgate.
brah.
Yeah, totally.
Pull up.
Hit me.
Yeah,
next time you're in Ann Arbor, hit me and pull up on our tailgate, and I'll
Bet.
show you a good time. All right. So I told her, tell your boy, I'm gonna pull up, and I expect him. Does that mean I'm gonna have to do like a beer bong and can I? Okay, dude. I enjoy cocktail too.
Just the conversations we've had in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Who's making it to kickoff?
Fair enough.
Like, who's gonna be able to walk into the stadium?
I am, dude. I'll make it to kickoff. I mean,
Why is Jeff just in a hoodie and sunglasses standing on the sideline?
Who is that guy? Why are they honoring his credential? No, I will be good. But yeah, I might hit a,
Get lit.
Well, you don't
Pull
have to
up.
get lit. I can pull up, and I'm not going to get, like, stupid.
Show them what New Mexico's all about. How we go down here.
Addie said some of her buddies were like, why are we wasting a night game on them? And she's like, bleep you. Lobos open up the season in Ann Arbor in like 90-something days. You going? You
Is there a
going?
line out on the game yet?
What do you expect the opening line to be? 38.5, 42.5? I mean, it's going to be a thick number, right?
Yeah.
With New Mexico being such a total unknown. I mean, granted, Michigan's going to have a new quarterback and whatever, but they're still Michigan, right? What number would make you think to bet New Mexico? 42.5? 38? Like you're thinking about it. Because we're going to get sold. We're going to go into camp, and we're going to watch these guys, and we're going to, okay, they're pretty good. And I mean, Michigan's...
There's a couple moments, games you go into, and you just say, hey, we're here for a check.
Well, and they're not going to think that, and I don't want them to think that.
They
I
won't
want
think
New Mexico
that,
to think they're going to go in and win.
I'm not going to sit here, even on a pregame show, and try to convince people that Appalachian State.
I remember that game. Thanks to Nick Nee, San Diego Golf. Joe Diaz, look at my wife, he's still the chief meteorologist at Channel 7. Kenny Thomas was here as well. The Herd with Colin Coward is next. The Jim Rome Show follows that. 2 Men On is in at 4. Isotopes and Sugarland this evening. Don't forget Kenny Thomas' show, Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Adrian, terrific week. Thank you for all you do on the visual side. He is JJ Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. Big weekend for you?
Huge.
Enjoy it. We're back on Monday. Be good to each other. Please be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you Monday.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Providers.
They're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.